At 82, I thought I was making the safe choice. Everyone told me that moving into a nursing home would bring peace, routine, and comfort. My children promised I'd have more help, more care, more connection. And at first, I believed them. But once I walked through those doors, I realized something no one had warned me about. This wasn't just a new place to live. It was a new way of living. And it came with trade-offs I never expected. In this video, I'll share 6 deep, personal regrets about moving into a nursing home, things I wish I had truly understood before I gave up the life I had. If you're thinking about this decision for yourself, or for someone you love, please watch until the end. Not because nursing homes are bad, but because you deserve to choose with your eyes open. Let's begin. Regret number 1, losing my independence. Losing independence isn't always about big things. Sometimes it starts with something as small as not being able to decide when to wake up. Before I moved into the nursing home, my days were my own. I chose when to rise, when to eat, what to wear, and whether to open the curtains or stay in bed a little longer. If I felt like listening to music at 10 p.m., I did. If I wanted toast at 2 p.m., no one stopped me. It wasn't perfect, but it was mine. But inside the nursing home, I slowly felt that freedom disappear. Suddenly, breakfast was served at 7:30 sharp. No matter if I'd had a rough night or just wanted a slower morning, the tray arrived at the same time. The lights went out at 9 p.m. My favorite chair faced the television, not the window. If I wanted to go outside, I had to press a button, and wait. It's not that the staff were unkind. In fact, many were lovely. But they were following a system designed for efficiency, not individuality. And over time, I stopped asking. I stopped resisting. I stopped choosing. This loss of independence didn't come with fanfare. No one said, from today on, you'll no longer decide your schedule. But day by day, small decisions were taken from me, replaced by routines. At first, it was subtle. Let's go ahead and get you dressed before breakfast. We'll bring your meds now so we don't forget. You'll shower on Tuesdays and Fridays. Soon, I wasn't deciding much of anything. Here's the thing people forget. When you've spent 70, 80, even 90 years shaping your life, even in small ways, giving that up hits harder than you expect. Independence isn't just about doing things for yourself. It's about feeling like you still have a say. That your life is still yours. And when that slips away, you begin to feel less like a person, and more like a patient. So what can you or your loved one do? If you're considering moving into a care home, 1. Ask about flexibility. Some homes allow more choice than others. Can you eat in your room? Can you take walks alone if safe? Can you wake up on your own schedule? 2. Keep some control. If possible, decorate your room. Choose your clothes. Keep a small calendar and write your own plans. Even deciding what music to play or how to arrange your books can restore a sense of self. 3. Speak up. Kindly but clearly. If a routine doesn't work for you, say so. Many staff truly want to help, but they won't know your preferences unless you share them. 4. Involve family. Ask your children or loved ones to advocate for your preferences. Sometimes, changes are easier when families raise them. And if you're caring for someone who's moving into a nursing home, be aware of how easy it is to speak for them instead of with them. Let them lead, even in small decisions. Ask, what time do you want to eat, instead of, breakfast is ready. Offer options, not instructions. Because those little choices, the time of day, the cup they drink from, the book they read before bed, aren't little at all. They're anchors. Their dignity. Their independence. And when someone loses those, they lose more than convenience. They lose a piece of themselves. If I could go back and give myself advice before moving in, it would be this. Hold on tight to your voice. Your rhythm. Your preferences. They may seem small in the eyes of others, but they are sacred in the final seasons of life. Independence doesn't mean doing it all alone. It means living in a way that still feels like you. Regret number 2, feeling forgotten by family. In the first few weeks at the nursing home, my room was often filled with voices, laughter from my daughter, updates from my son, scribbled drawings from my grandchildren proudly taped to the wall. I held on to those visits like oxygen. But slowly, the rhythm changed. The weekly calls became bi-weekly. The drop-ins turned into text messages, "Sorry, Mom, crazy day, we'll call tomorrow." And while I understood, truly, I did, it didn't make the silence any easier. This is the kind of loneliness that creeps in quietly. Not because you are unloved, but because you are no longer part of the daily orbit of their lives. At home, I used to be the center of Sunday dinners. I helped watch the grandkids. I was needed. In the nursing home, I became a calendar item, another to-do in their busy lives. Out of sight, out of mind. And though it wasn't intentional, it still hurt. Here's what most people don't realize. Even the strongest elders can feel forgotten. Even when surrounded by nurses, aides, and other residents that ache for your own family, the familiar voices, the warm hugs, the feeling of being remembered, never truly fades. One of the hardest moments came during the holidays. The halls were decorated. Music played. But the chair beside my bed stayed empty. Everyone promised they'd come. But no one did. It's not bitterness I feel. It's grief for a presence that once was steady, and now is rare. So what can we do? How do we bridge that growing gap between generations, routines, and reality? If you're a family member, here's what your loved one wishes you knew. 1. A short visit is better than none. Even 15 minutes of face-to-face connection can lift their entire week. 2. Consistency matters more than length. A 5-minute call every Tuesday at 6 p.m. means more than a 1-hour surprise visit twice a year. 3. Small gestures carry deep weight. A photo. A letter. A voice message. These don't just say, "I love you," they say, "I haven't forgotten." 4. Include them in your life. Share news, ask for advice, celebrate small things together. Aging doesn't erase wisdom, it deepens it. Let them feel like part of the family fabric, not just an old chapter. And if you're the elder living in a care facility, don't be afraid to express your need. Say gently but clearly, "I miss our talks. Can we set a weekly time to connect?" It would mean a lot if the kids visited this weekend. You are not a burden. You are a bridge, holding stories, love, and legacy. Sometimes families need reminders, not guilt trips. There's also beauty in creating connection within the home. I started writing notes to new residents. Sharing tea with the woman down the hall. Watching birds outside with the gentleman across the way. And still, nothing replaces family. So to those who are listening, please, don't wait until it's too late. The presence you bring, the smile, the laugh, the familiar voice, that is medicine. No pill, no staff member, no decoration can replace it. To feel remembered, is to feel alive. And in the final years of life, that may be the most important thing of all. Regret number 3, losing my sense of purpose. Before I moved into the nursing home, I never thought much about the small tasks that filled my day. But now, I realize, those small things were actually the rhythm of my life. At home, I had roles. I brewed my own tea in the morning. I wiped down the kitchen counter. I checked the mail and chatted briefly with the postman. I swept the porch. I read to my great-grandchild when they visited. These tasks weren't just chores, they gave my day structure. They gave me purpose. But in the nursing home, I noticed something unsettling. Everything was done for me. My clothes were chosen and laid out. My bed was made. My meals arrived on trays. Someone else decided when it was time for my shower. Even if I tried to help, I was gently told to just relax. At first, this felt like luxury. Finally, I could rest. No more lifting, no more stress. But after a while, I noticed a quiet emptiness creep in. There were whole mornings when I didn't need to do anything. No one expected anything of me. No one asked for my opinion on what to cook or how to fold the laundry. I was a guest in my own life. And with that came a feeling I hadn't known in years. Uselessness. I didn't feel needed anymore. Not by my family, not by the community, and not even by myself. When you strip away purpose, no matter how small, you take away a person's connection to life. You see, purpose doesn't need to be grand. You don't have to be running a business or saving the world to feel valuable. Sometimes purpose is feeding a pet, folding your favorite sweater, watering a houseplant, making someone laugh. These are the quiet threads that stitch a day together. And when they're gone, the day unravels. What I regret most isn't just that I lost my roles, it's that no one noticed when I did. So, if you or someone you love is preparing for this transition, consider this. 1. Ask how they want to contribute. Can they still fold their own laundry? Help plan the week? Lead a short reading group with other residents? 2. Respect their skills. If your mother was a teacher, let her help someone learn something new. If your father loved fixing things, let him tinker, even if it's just organizing a drawer. 3. Encourage small routines. Purpose hides in habits. Making tea. Journaling. Calling a friend every Thursday. 4. Don't assume rest is enough. Everyone needs rest, yes, but too much rest, without meaning, becomes emptiness. Here's what I wish care staff and families understood. Older adults don't want to feel kept. They want to feel needed. Even if it's just to remind someone what day it is. Even if it's to pass on a family recipe. Even if it's to water the garden once a week. Purpose is not a luxury. It's a reason to wake up. When that reason disappears, the spirit dims. So, don't take away every responsibility in the name of comfort. Leave space for contribution. Invite purpose back in, gently, respectfully, consistently. Because when a person has something to give, they still have something to live for. Regret number 4, declining faster than expected. Before I moved into the nursing home, I was still moving. Not quickly. Not with the strength of my younger years. But I walked. I stood up from chairs. I cooked a simple lunch. I made my own bed. Now, I look back, and wonder how I lost so much ability in so little time. You see, I thought being taken care of would help me rest and recover. But what I didn't realize was, the less I moved, the more I lost. Here's what no one tells you: when someone else does everything for you, your body forgets how to do it for itself. I was encouraged to sit. Encouraged to rest. Encouraged to let us help. And at first, it felt kind. But slowly, my muscles weakened. My balance slipped. I started using the wheelchair, not because I couldn't walk, but because it was easier, and expected. Then came the walker. Then came help with the toilet. Then came needing support to stand. It didn't happen in one day. It happened one skipped step at a time. One day, I realized, the act of trying had disappeared from my life. And once you stop trying, decline becomes your default. This isn't about blame. The staff were doing their job. My family thought they were protecting me. But in protecting me from effort, they unknowingly exposed me to faster aging. If you're preparing for, or currently living in, a nursing home, here's what I've learned. 1. Use what you can, as often as you can. If you can still walk short distances, do. If you can button your own shirt, insist. Keep practicing, even if it's slower. 2. Ask for support, not replacement. It's okay to ask for help, but make sure help doesn't mean someone doing the whole thing for you. 3. Advocate for gentle movement daily. A short walk. Some stretches. Standing while brushing your teeth. These are not luxuries. They are lifelines. 4. Enlist your family's help. Ask them to walk with you. Encourage them to bring you small tasks, sorting photos, folding laundry, stirring soup. Because when your days are too easy, your body stops fighting to stay strong. Even emotionally, it takes a toll. I started feeling useless. Slower. Dimmer. Not because of age, but because I wasn't using the tools inside me anymore. So if you care for someone elderly, please remember. Ease is not always kindness. Sometimes effort, gentle, safe effort, is what keeps a soul alive. I don't regret needing help. But I do regret not asking to do more, sooner. If I could start again, I would. Stand a little longer each day. Walk a little farther, even if slow. Push just enough to stay awake inside. Because decline doesn't start with disease. It starts when we stop living like we matter. So keep trying. Even if it's just one step. Even if it's just for yourself. That one step is a vote for life. Regret number 5, losing privacy and dignity. In my house, I could close a door and be alone. I had a bathroom to myself. A closet for my clothes. My space. My pace. Privacy wasn't something I thought much about, because I always had it. But when I moved into the nursing home, that changed. Suddenly, someone knocked and entered before I could answer. My room was inspected. My drawers rearranged. My schedule managed by a chart. Even something as simple as using the toilet became an event. I had to press a button. Wait. Ask. If I wanted a shower, I needed to sign up. And when the aide arrived, it wasn't just help, it was hands on my body, instructions, interruptions. And I know they meant well. Truly. But when someone washes you without asking how you like it, without giving you a choice, it doesn't feel like help. It feels like something's being taken. The dignity of choice. I remember the first time I cried in the shower. Not because of the water temperature or the soap. Because I felt invisible. Like I had no say in my own care. I wasn't being abused. But I wasn't being seen either. Here's what most people don't realize: dignity isn't just about what is done. It's about how it's done. You can assist someone with bathing in a way that honors them, or in a way that makes them feel small. You can speak to a person like an adult, or like a task on your checklist. As we age, we lose many things. Strength. Speed. Independence. But we should never lose the right to be treated with dignity. So what can help? 1. Ask before touching. Even if the person needs help, always say, "May I?" 2. Explain what's happening. No one wants to be surprised during intimate care. 3. Give choices when possible. Would you like a sponge bath or shower? Do you want to wear the blue shirt or the green one? 4. Knock and wait. Every time. Even if you've been in the room a dozen times that day. 5. Respect quiet. Not every moment needs to be filled with instruction. Sometimes, dignity is in the silence. 6. Protect modesty. Use towels. Close doors. Let them dress privately if they can. And families, please remember, when you visit, don't just ask how the food is. Ask how they're being treated. Are they respected? Are they comfortable speaking up? Because sometimes we suffer quietly, out of politeness. But dignity matters. Every person, no matter their age, deserves to feel like their body still belongs to them. Their room is still theirs. Their voice still matters. Because when you lose your privacy, and no one seems to notice, you begin to lose yourself. Regret number 6, realizing it's hard to leave. I told myself, if I don't like it, I can always go back home. But I didn't realize. My house was sold. My body was weaker. My family had moved on. And suddenly, what I thought was a trial became permanent. This final regret is one of the most painful. Not because I hate where I am, but because I now know, leaving is harder than I imagined. We'll discuss how to prepare honestly, and what to consider before making this move. Underscore 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 underscore. Ending. This isn't about fear. It's about choice. This video is not meant to scare you. But if you're over 70, or helping someone who is, you deserve to know the truth behind the brochures and promises. Because once you move into a nursing home, it may not be easy to move back out. So ask the hard questions now. Think carefully about your needs, your values, and your vision of aging with dignity. You may still choose to go, but you'll go with clarity. And that makes all the difference. If this video helped you reflect, please share it with someone you love. Because when we make decisions with honesty and heart, we make them we.